Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Steven and today I wanted to talk to you about air assault school. For me, air assault school started on day 0 at 5:30 in the morning. I made sure to get there about 15 minutes early, and I recommend you do the same if you're going to air assault school. And I also made sure to have the full packing list, which will include generally your normal work uniform, your top, your bottoms, your PC, pen and paper, your ID tags, ID card, as well as a wet weather bag, a waterproof bag with a 1-quart canteen, a PT belt, your running shoes, a change of socks, a change of shirt, and a few other things, which are on a detailed packing list, which I am providing in the description below. So after you are there, you're formed up, you're in formation with everybody else, ready to go at air assault school. They will call you out by name and they will issue you a roster number. If you are not enrolled in this class prior to that, and you're a walk-on, then they will call all the walk-ons together, and they will take a look at your packing list, they'll take a look at all your information, and they'll make sure everything is squared away. And if they have any open slots, they'll give you a chance to, they'll let you enter the course. They'll select a certain number of people. They might select all of you to give it a shot, or they might only select a few of you. And sadly, for those of you who are lower enlisted, they typically choose people who are in the upper ranks before they let you on. So if you're all walk-ons, they'll say, okay, who's E5 and above? Oh, we got a staff sergeant here. We have an E6. We got a sergeant first class, an E7. We'll let them on. We only have room for 2. You know, that kind of thing. So, anyways, after everyone's issued a roster number, everyone's ready to go. Everyone will then change into a PT uniform, which you're going to take off your tops, where you're wearing your ACU bottoms and your t-shirt. You'll put your PT belt on around your waist, and you'll change your boots out for running shoes. Once you've done that, everyone will form up, and you'll go on a 2-mile run. With the 2-mile run, don't exert yourself too much, but make sure you don't fall behind. Make sure you don't fall behind the rear of the formation, because there will be 2 air assault sergeants who will be keeping up the rear and making sure that if you go behind them, you fail. So make sure you're just ahead of them. You don't have to run super fast, like I said, but just don't be too slow. Next, once you get back from the 2-mile run, they're going to have a little PT session for you where they're going to have you do push-ups, sit-ups, squats, and whatever other exercises they can imagine and have you do. They're going to try to exhaust you. They want to make sure that only those who are really good are going to pass this obstacle course, and so they're going to try to exhaust everyone. You don't have to exert yourself too much, like I said. You have to be putting forth a continuous effort during this PT session. Don't be slacking off. Don't be lazy, but you don't have to try and keep up the pace with the air assault sergeants or with everyone around you. You can go slow, as long as you're continuously putting forth effort. Then you won't get in trouble. They might yell at you, they might say go faster, but at the end of the day, as long as you're trying, you're not going to get in trouble, and you're not going to get kicked out of the class. I'm not saying push your luck. I'm saying don't exert yourself too much, and still follow the rules. Next is the obstacle course itself. They'll split you up into groups, and and an air assault sergeant will take you and your group to one of the obstacles. And they'll take you to each and every one in order, and you will negotiate each and every one of the obstacles so you pass and you'll move on. The 2 obstacles that are most important are the tough one and the confidence climb. Those 2 are mandatory. If you fail either one, then you fail air assault school, and you have to start over again at day 0 again. Not fun, but that's air assault school. You have to pass those 2. So the rest of the obstacles, I won't run through them. There are several, and they're not as hard as those 2, with the exception of the Weaver. The Weaver is an A-frame, about kind of at this angle, and it's horizontal beams that you have to weave your body in and like under, over, all the way up to the top, and then under, over, all the way down. You'll come away with lots of bruises on your arms and legs, on your body. Your arms and legs will be tired, as well as your core. It is challenging, but you can, with the rest of the obstacles, you are allowed to fail one and still move forward. I don't recommend moving through air assault school like, oh, I'm just going to fail that one because I know it's hard, or I'm just going to skip it because it's hard and I'll do the rest. I do not recommend that, because there's always a chance that there's going to be one obstacle that you thought you could pass, but for some reason on this day, at this time of the morning, you can't pass it for some reason, even though you thought you could. It happens to everybody. So make sure you try your best on each and every one of the obstacles, because you never know if for some reason or another you're going to fail one of them that you weren't expecting. So do every single one of them and do your best and make sure you pass every single one of them. But now to talk about the two toughest, or the two mandatory obstacles. I want to go over first my biggest challenge. I'm afraid of heights. So the confidence climb was a big deal for me. I got up to the mat underneath the ladder. A lot of people call it Jacob's ladder. And I stood on the mat. I yelled, "Air assault," like everyone else. And then I get onto the ladder and I tell myself, it doesn't matter how scared I am, I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to keep climbing, and I will ignore the fear. So I do. I keep going, I keep going, I keep going, I keep climbing, and there's that twinge of fear in the back of my mind saying, you're pretty dang high right now. And I'm just saying, I don't care, and I keep climbing, and I get to the top. Not like the very top of the ladder, because you're not supposed to. That's dangerous. But you go to the next one below that. So I got there, got to the top of it, and I realized I made it. I just did the hardest thing that I could imagine doing today. So I yelled air assault, and then I climbed back down on the other side, got down on the mat, yelled air assault, and I got in line with my classmates who had also passed. So it felt really good. Essentially, that's the key to getting through the confidence climb, is just keep going. And there are rules. Maintain 3 points of contact, which is 2 hands and a foot, or 2 feet and one of your hands, at the very least at all times. Do not touch the wires connecting to the wooden beams. Other than that, you can hold on to any part of the confidence climb that you want. As long as your hands are on wood, you're fine. Just go to the top, climb back down on the other side, and you're good. Not very complicated, but it can be scary if you're afraid of heights. The other obstacle, which is a challenge, and most people fail air assault school because they don't succeed with the tough one. So what you're going to do with the tough one, the very beginning, is a rope climb. The key to the rope climb is to use your legs and your core muscles. You might think that you need a lot of arm strength or upper body strength to climb up a rope. You don't. You're going to need a minimum amount of arm strength is to be able to hold your body up by holding your hands in front of your chest on a rope and hold your body up. Not lift up, but just hold your body in place with your arms. If you can do that, you'll be fine. Okay? Because that's all you got to do. Once you do that, once you're holding your body up in place, then you just got to lift your legs up, lock your feet around the rope, and stand up again using your legs. Then you'll move your hands up, and then you'll pick your legs up, lock your feet in, stand up, move your hands up, and so on and so forth. Now, what most people don't know how to do is to lock their feet into the rope. So let me show you with a rudimentary demonstration, okay? With using my fingers, pretending my fingers are feet, and this power cable as though it's a rope, what you do is, for the first one I'm going to teach you, which is called the J hook, you essentially use your feet like scissors, your legs like scissors, and you put the rope between your feet like so, and you twist it like that. So essentially you're just putting one foot, so these are your legs, you have this one crossed in front of the rope and this one crossed behind, and step like that, so the rope forms a J between your feet. And while you do that, then you can stand up on the rope, Then you stand up on the rope, you grip higher, lift your legs up, and then J-hook, lock your feet in, stand up again. And you do that over and over, lifting your legs, locking in, stand up, lift your legs, lock it in, stand up. And that's how you climb the rope. The other way to lock your feet in is called the S-hook. So again, it's just another way of locking your feet in, and the objective is just to lock your feet in, stand up, lift your legs, lock your feet in, and stand up. Only this time, you're going to wrap your leg, or you're going to wrap the rope behind your leg, let it drape over your boot in front, and then stand on that rope on top of your foot, or pinch it between your boots like that. I think most of the time I see soldiers who do it this way. They'll stand one foot on top of the other with the rope in between, and they'll stand on it like that. So you lock it in, stand up, then you lift your legs, wrap it around, lock it in, stand up. You do that over and over until you get to the top. When you get to your unit at Fort Campbell, somebody should be showing you how to do this. They should be showing you how to lock your feet onto the rope using the J-hook or the S-hook, and teaching you how to climb that way, okay? If they're not, they're failing you. If they're not preparing you for air assault school, then they shouldn't be sending you to air assault school, okay? But as we all know, they should be sending people to air assault school, so they should be teaching you how to climb the rope. Anyways, that's how you climb it. And once you get to the top of the rope, first you'll put your legs onto the lower yellow beam. Don't use your hands yet, just keep them gripped on the rope. You put your legs onto the lower yellow beam, and once your legs are on that lower yellow beam, because there's two of them, then you can put your arms onto the upper yellow beam and begin to climb over the top of that beam. So once you're over the beam, the rope is behind you, you're no longer touching it. Now you're walking on horizontal beams, and you are just walking across them like you're walking across the rafters in an attic, okay? And you go to the end of that, climb up a ladder, which is similar to the confidence climb, but much smaller, not as intimidating, and it's short. And you get to the top of that little ladder, and you climb down the cargo net on the other side, all the way down to the ground. Key with the cargo net: if you are lacking grip strength at this point, I recommend looping your entire arm up to the crook of your elbow in the rope. That way you don't have to use your grip strength to hold yourself up. If you got plenty of grip strength still, good job, and just climb your way down like you're on a rope ladder. Essentially it's a rope ladder, and you're just, like I said, if you're lacking confidence or you're lacking grip strength, use the crook of your elbow to hold on to the rope as you climb down. So just, you'll hook your elbows in, then you'll lower your feet down, remove one arm, hook it into another rope, into another loop lower, unhook that arm, hook it into another rope lower, and you'll climb down that way, okay? So, pretty simple, and it is a challenge, but if you're doing it in this way, you shouldn't have trouble. As long as you're doing it methodically and intentionally, and you're following this advice, you shouldn't have any problem. Look to those leaders in your unit who know what they're talking about and who have gone through air assault school, who you can see them demonstrating that they can do all these obstacles successfully. Look to them, get their advice. Even look to the private who is just an ace, who's just physically great at all of these obstacles. You just watch him do it all successfully. Say, hey, show me how to do this. Essentially, get advice from people who are good at it, people who you know are good at it. I'm not great at all these things, but I'm able to do it successfully through learning the proper way of doing it. Okay, I wouldn't call myself physically exceptional compared to like the greats, like a lot of the great soldiers out here who are PT studs and all that, but I passed air assault school through doing it through these methods, through doing them these specific ways to make sure that I passed. Okay, so take that as you like. I play it smart. I don't try to be the strongest guy out there, even although I do pass my PT test with flying colors. I'm just saying, work smarter, all right? So, you've passed all the obstacles, and like I said, don't fail any one of, make sure you don't fail any of these obstacles. You can technically fail one of the non-mandatory obstacles, but don't try to do that, okay? Don't skip any of them, because if you skip any of them before the end, you might fail the last one, and you weren't expecting to fail the last one. You might find that you can't do the belly over this time. You might find you can't do the 6 vaults or the swing stop. For some reason, one of these obstacles that you aced every single time you did it before, you can't do it on the day of the obstacle course. And so, since you already passed on one of them, that's 2 and you're out of air assault school. So don't make the mistake of skipping one of these or failing one of them intentionally. It's not a good idea. You're risking failing air assault school just by doing something so silly. So anyways, after the obstacle course, the hard part of the day is over. Next is just rules, regulations, orientation, and preparation for day 1. So they're going to be telling you where you form up. They're going to be telling you what you do when you run into the school, to the classroom, how you yell air assault every time your left foot hits the ground, and everything that you do in formation, your roster numbers, who's the class leader, who's the platoon leader, who's the squad leader, and then they're going to be teaching you about your day 1 packing list layout. You have a layout including everything on your day 1 through 10 packing list. Make sure you have every little tiny thing on your packing list, including those little 3x5 cards that are completely filled out with all the information they need to have, and that way you won't be deducted any points. And if you are missing anything on the packing list, it's an automatic fail, okay? So do not forget any single thing on that packing list. They will show you how to lay everything out, take notes on the directions that you're supposed to face everything in your layout, which direction folds are supposed to be faced, so on and so forth, which way they want the thumbs of the gloves facing when you lay them out. It's that detailed. So if it's not according to what they say specifically, it's not correct, and you could get points deducted or even fail out of air assault school. So keep that in mind. So I hope this helped you. If you have any questions or any concerns about this, about your day 0 or preparing for day 1 of air assault school, post them in the comments and we will answer your questions. And I will answer your questions. And if you have any comments or anything you'd like to say about day 0 or your day 0 experience, let us know. It would be so helpful to everyone listening or everyone watching to know your experience. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this. Give us a like and have a great day.